sharp on skills because I haven't seen problems like these in years.
Yeah.
All right,
All right.
cool.
Diana, have a good one.
Good.
See you next time. Bye. See ya.
Oh, bye-bye.
Oh, there it is.
Let me try this. Can you hear us online? That's me.
Yes, I
You
can
can
hear
hear
it.
us?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Kate.
All right, great.
Well, it seems like our audio, Peter, on that feed isn't piped into the speaker. Well, while we work out the bugs, I think it sounds like we've got connection via people's laptops on this. I know we need to recording this. I can see the video.
And I can hear you now. Can you hear me still?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Great. So those things need to be, and it seems that you have quorum now.
Yeah.
So
what
whenever
about,
you're
like,
ready.
Can we hear Tanya? Tanya, can you give us a test? Yeah. Well, it's my laptop because I've joined Teams like online, like independently, as if I was somewhere else.
Hmm.
Tanya, can you speak? If we have Tanya, that's the issue.
Tanya, it shows that you're muted, if that's the issue.
Hey, Kate, we're just doing a sound check here again.
I can hear you.
You can hear. I'm going to mute
Yep.
myself and talk on the microphone.
Oh, okay.
That's the issue we're having.
Okay.
Yeah, we're having an issue with the microphones being in with Teams.
Okay.
So
Okay.
do we have the mic?
Where you go for your USB into the computer. Use that on the computer. So you gotta make sure you're going out you got like red sign. Oh, that wiggles. That should not.
Anytime something wiggles.
Well, that checks. It should not wiggle. Now. Maybe see levels on the computer at all. So how about going into, you have an analog view on your computer? I don't. Peter, have you rebooted your laptop?
Yeah.
You did a good thing. You've got input sign. Sure. On the audio jack out. That's what you really need. Turn it to analog before you.
That's the real. Yeah, we got that.
Yeah, we tried it.
Adapter.
That USB jack.
I think you have to move back.
As long as you X. Is that it?
Uh-huh.
And 1065. Put them out here for traffic and safety. Is that all advertising with them out here?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's the thing that where they
Oh.
on each business. It's I think it's over county to land take off. And I see them from different options. And it was, I think that was leftover flagging money, I'm guessing. You know, that's what I was thinking when I saw that. Yep, let's see that.
Oh, except it's not gonna want to work. Wait, maybe? Test. Anything? Anything?
I hear you, Peter.
Can you, we have, can you hear Peter? Kate,
Anything with
Yeah.
can you hear Peter?
I did, and then now I only hear you.
Right, Peter, you want to try your microphone again?
Can you hear me?
I can.
Yes, sir. So now we don't hear. It's okay. You know what, I think if we just. Yes, I think. Audio.
I mean, you can play it through the,
So you got to turn all the boxes down. That's what's making the ringing. All the boxes are all the way up.
It's interesting. I did not play it. Yes. Kept it all at meeting. We're using Cass's computer and it's kind of working, but also it's just everything is being wrong. Oh, it's playing off of your computer itself. That's why you can hear it. Yeah. So the reason it's not going to work through these is because your computer does not have the driver to connect to this board. Okay. We can try.
Maybe if we can mute that microphone on that computer and just use.
Is this an echo online, Kate?
No, it's not. I hear you really well.
Okay. And we're being recorded. I think this is the best we're gonna do right now.
Okay, I see we're recording.
Okay. It's 6:17. I'd like to call the meeting to order. Kate, can you call the roll?
Yes. Steve Roundtree is absent. Is Nathan Smallwood in the room?
No, he texted me. He's not gonna make it tonight.
Okay. I haven't heard from Everett Nelson. Is he in the room?
He's not gonna make it tonight.
Okay, great. Danielle Kraus,
here.
Steve Carreau,
Here.
Andrew Dewart,
Here.
Scott Pappich,
Here.
Trustee Corvalon.
Here.
Thank you all.
Okay. Are there any questions or comments on the consent agenda? If not, I'd ask for a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Motion to approve consent agenda.
Second.
Great. And now I
I'll call
think
the
we're-
roll.
Yeah, call the roll.
Danielle Kraus,
Yes.
Steve Carreau,
Yes.
Andrew Dewart,
Yes.
Scott Pappich,
Yes.
Trustee Corvalon.
Yes.
Thank you all.
Let me try that. Now we're at the, so it's gonna make feedback, yeah. Is there any public comment on non-agenda items? Oh, I see a hand go up. Peter. The location, that's a little later, but you can go ahead and talk now if you want. Yeah. Sure. Great.
Pen. Hold on, let me get a pen. Sorry. I apologize. I tried to find it.
Okay. And you want to just state your name for the record? Great, Peter
I
Fiore.
can't. Okay, I
Yes,
can't hear
Peter.
very well.
Yeah, I know, Peter Fiore, Sweetway Buddy.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry, I need that.
That's my.
Hello, Peter Fiore, yeah. would be.
Oh,
Yeah.
Thanks, Peter. I hear that you need to know dates ASAP to get
So
things
we got
booked.
bands on the hook.
Yeah.
A lot of them, and we have to pay by the way, they're saying $2,000. But we have bands on the hook, but we have to get going on dates because we have to know dates before we can actually get bands to
Okay.
book.
Well, I think what we'll do, in chat, or we'll email you the list so we can get these dates in front of everyone if they didn't write them down, and get with town staff and make sure that you can confirm these.
Appreciate it. And also put September as when, if we want to reschedule, and note that by pretty much 9 a.m., we have to make a decision whether or not to call force majeure if it's really torrential rain, or if we're just going to be expecting serious rain.
Mhm.
We can stop the train from leaving the station by about 9 a.m. At that point, then a lot of people are starting to get paid, including the talent, and it's
Yep.
rain or shot.
Okay.
So that's that. The other quick thing, different note, one, thank you guys so much for all the work you do, because this is a very balmy night and beautiful night to be outside. And I understand it. So I know you don't get thanked enough, and the public needs to be reminded that you guys are doing this. So thank you so much. Lastly,
Okay. Noted.
anyone want to ask me any questions?
Unmuted. Okay. Stay unmuted.
Anyone have any comments for us real quick on here? Because otherwise I'm going to scoot out of here.
Thank you.
So please
Yeah.
bring up the discussion about Chipeta. I know that that's a really hot topic for you guys, whether or not you want to move it around. Like we said in our presentation, we can do it anywhere you want us to. We recommend Chipeta.
Quick question. On the 12th of July, Ned Gravel, what time do they typically?
So they start real early in the morning when I'm asleep,
Right.
and then they end probably around 2 o'clock-ish. They do have music, but we went back and forth, and I spoke in depth with their guy, and we know he doesn't think it would hurt him. Whether or not we think it would actually help the day in Netherland, not so sure. We don't know. So let you guys think about that one. But that's the secondary date. The primary dates are the ones we recommend.
Okay, got it. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for coming in.
Awesome.
Thanks, Peter.
Sure.
Okay. Any other public comment on non-agenda items? Seeing and hearing none, move into the agenda. And we've got the warrants approved. I think the next we've got our first action item, which is the NDDA bag outreach fee, the Sustainability Advisory Board.
Yep, that's we have presenting.
Yes.
I'm tasked.
Okay. Discussion item, sorry.
Discussion item.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just looking for some feedback. So just to provide a little context, I'm conducting outreach to local businesses that are, that have the town's recent plastic bag ban, styrofoam ban, and then bag fee changes if they're affected by it, they are a retail store. The food establishments are only affected by the plastic bag ban and the styrofoam ban, not the bag fee. Affected here. The change since 2015 is that the bag fee is now is still 10 cents, but the store retains. Oh, I think I might have written this wrong. The store retains 40% and remits 60% to the town instead of the 50-50 split. And I will be delivering this information to businesses through emails and phone calls if necessary, as well as presenting at an NDDA economic vitality meeting and providing signage for them to put up in their stores so they don't have to spend time making their own signage, and then working with the engagement manager on posting to town social media pages and the town website. I have a whole outreach plan that goes through the second quarter of this year, and then for the third quarter we will start collecting bag fees from the second quarter, if that makes sense. We're not collecting bag fees necessarily from the first quarter of 2025 if businesses did not collect them, because we want to give businesses time to learn about this and implement the change. So what I'm asking tonight is just if the board has any guidance for me on sharing information about the bag fee via email and in person to Nederland businesses. Do you have any suggestions about the communication?
Danielle?
This is Danielle. One of my recommendations is if you have the bandwidth to go to each business in person. I know of some that do not check email, are not aware of it. It's still going.
Yeah, you're good.
Cassie, Scott Papich. I would say, I like the idea of going business to business and leaving behind a piece of paper. So I saw some of the drafts that were sent. Maybe a one pager, few frequently asked questions would be good too, because should you know what the top 4 or 5 questions are that people will ask, contact info for who they can reach out to, because they'll have questions beyond that. And then 2 places where I think it'd be great to show up would be in the Mountaineer. And I would say you don't have to do it every week, but if you do it every other week for a few weeks, that's kind of smart. And then on Facebook, there's 2 groups that get a lot of traffic, Net Talk and Net Heads. And I don't know exactly who the moderators are on those 2 groups, but I think this would be fitting for both of them.
Yeah, and I can work with Peter on having the town post from their page onto those Facebook groups.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I know we're at least part of NetHead, so look into the other one as well.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. I wonder if it'd be, not that we're going to figure this out right this second, but just thinking of, reusable bags, and if there is a way to have a partnership where, we could see if there's funds to, wholesale buy kind of shop local Nederland reusable bags and, sell them to the stores, retail stores for, at a loss, where then the retail stores could, or maybe not at a loss, at cost, And then the retail stores would have, you could either pay the bag fee or you could buy this reusable bag, shop local Nederland for whatever, $1, $2. Yeah.
I like that idea, Andrew, and perhaps we could have one of the local screen printing companies put some information on.
Mhm.
Do you know any artists that could create something cool for that?
I know a lot of artists that can create wonderful things, and I would recommend putting a call out and pay them to do it.
Not my idea. We just escalated the whole thing.
Right. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for that suggestion. I know, I only started here in October, but I know that there had previously been some kind of reusable bag that was distributed to businesses, and I think paid for by like the bag fee that was remitted to the town. So I heard that was a success, and we could definitely look into doing something like that again. And depending on how much we are getting from the bag fee, we could put some of that money towards creating those as well.
Yeah.
To follow up with the design, the visitor center put a call out for a t-shirt design that artists answered, and there was a winner and not a gift certificate, but a monetary award for the winner. And then the design was created and printed and sold at the visitor center. So that model does work, and the artists respond to it well, and it's through the visitor center connected with town hall.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. I'll definitely reach out to the visitor center to talk about that process. That's great.
Yeah, I think making it as easy as possible for businesses where it's not a loss, it's not inconvenient, and there's not, the frustration of a customer that doesn't have a solution if they're trying to buy things, Yeah.
Definitely understand.
Yeah.
So regardless of reusable bags, how that comes about, your real question was about outreach, right?
Yes, just communicating with the businesses.
Economic vitality meeting at the next one, if you want to show up there, that'd be cool too. Because it might be followed up on by Chris Kelly. He might do something like that. So it'd be nice to have that in the article.
Mhm.
Do you know when the next one is?
It's still, I think, to be
Yeah, to be determined.
Okay.
Should be something yet in February or first half of March, I think.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll put that, on my list of things to look out for.
Cool.
Because I would like to present at one of those meetings. And I know that, I actually haven't been to one, so I don't know how many local businesses attend, but it's, it seems like a good forum for that.
It depends on the day and the location, I think. But we're working. I had a meeting with the Peak to Peak Chamber of Commerce last week, and we talked about having some strategy where they sit in and possibly, help facilitate or mediate meetings so that it allows for everyone to have a chance to talk. And I think really engaging the greater Peak to Peak area in the chamber and having, the businesses be aware, because, depending on the day, a lot of business owners are doing business and they can't make it. So that's why we're trying to kind of reach out and partner with the Peak to Peak Chamber and have some synergy there. Yeah.
Thanks for doing that meeting, Andrew. I think collaborating with the Peak to Peak Chamber is awesome. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so do you recommend that I reach out to them?
Yeah, I think that'd be a great idea,
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have a contact, or is there?
I do.
communication on-
I do. Yeah.
I may reach out to you. for that
Okay.
then.
Yeah, absolutely. Nothing else. All right. Is there anything else that you wanted to go over, Cassidy? Is that?
I think that's it, but if anything comes to mind, feel free to email me, sustainability@nederlandco.org.
Okay.
And yeah, definitely willing to take suggestions, just as I'm new to this community, new to all the businesses, and want to do this in the best way possible.
Awesome. Thanks, Cass. Is it Cass or Cassidy?
I go by Cass.
Okay,
Yeah.
Cass. Okay. The next item on the agenda was the summer concert series locations, which Peter kind of talked about, or at least he more talked about dates. I think this is something we really can't dive into because so much of it relies on talking with town staff and Jonathan and Nikki. But just for our, for our own board, do we, the questions, I don't believe we're actually going to get it answered for this tonight, but just to say it out loud, does the board wish to have the entire summer concert series at Chipeta Park? And do we wish to utilize private land or another location? So I don't see this as actually being an action item, but something to talk through on a high level is in partnership with town, if one of these locations is going to be First Street or one of the public streets, and or if Gercio Field or Barker Meadows Reservoir would be a potential location. But that's really, I think, up to town staff as it was last year. So I don't know what we're really going to be able to do other than just say that out loud for the record. Scott, anything you want to say?
Well, we had really great success last year. I mean, Chipeta Park is perfect for this. I felt like the event that we held on First Street was good, it went well, but I still don't have a really clear sense as to how it affected the businesses on that street. And I don't know that we have a clear plan on how to make it as good as it can be for the businesses on that street. I don't know if it helped them or if it hindered them. So I think we should, I'm at a loss as to how we get an answer on that or a consensus on that.
One of my thoughts, there's a couple of thoughts I have on this. To answer your thoughts on that, Scott, is maybe we can focus on gathering the dates, and as we get the locations, have that written out, and then reach out to each business with a type of form that can give us feedback on whether their foot traffic and sales are different. I think our goal is I know our goal is to be helping the business community. And so having a form that gives us honest and real-time feedback on the events that we're putting on would be smart. My other thought is I am a little frustrated about how it feels like it's up to the DDA to decide where these are held, when I feel like the job for who we hired is to learn about where different locations are. My perspective was that this was an experiment to look at different areas, and I understand that mutated into maybe just creating something beneficial for the community, and we can work with what it is. And so I'm all right if the board decides that we want to keep it at Chipeta, or if we work with town staff to figure out what is available along with any private land that is available to organize how that would move smoothly. And how that kind of ties in is if we're still focusing on creating a performance space, maybe it is smart to keep it at Chipeta and make a solid event that we support. And then once a performance space is created, move it to that. Those are my thoughts. Thank you.
Thanks, Danielle. Tanya, you want to hand up?
Yeah. I do. I want to keep it at Chipeta, unless town can actually close the street all the way, because the way First Street was halfway open last year was super dangerous and I didn't like it. And I would be fine with doing on First Street or Big Springs Drive, but this entire street would have to be closed to traffic. You can't have cars weaving through people like that. So that's just, you know, my take on that. And as far as other locations in town, we don't have another park. Gercio Field's not good. It's all undulated and got the rows, the hard rows and the weeds. The performance space is just dirt. This board during budget season opted to not budget money for the performance space this year, so there will be no progress on the performance space this year. I don't know if anybody else remembers that discussion, but we were going to give JVA some money to come up with a shovel-ready design, but that did not get any traction with the board here, this board. So I don't see there's any point in continuing with any other location but Chipeta or one of the main streets that gets fully closed down, but it can't be halfway. That it was really lucky that no one got hit by a car. That's my take.
Thanks, Tanya. Steve Carreau.
Yeah, I think, you know, we've been alluding to it, but I think one of the things we should ask is, you know, what is our purpose of this, moving it around, and, you know, is there any real reason to do that? Because as has been said, we were originally looking for a good spot to have it. Everyone loves Chipeta. It seemed like it didn't ruin the park. If it's big enough, you know, that is a pretty nice location. As Tanya said, the performance space is just dirt, so it wouldn't really serve us, you know, to move something into the dirt and see how people liked it. I am interested in First Street in the sense of if we did 1 or 2 on First Street, then we could get real information back from a lot of the stores on First Street as to how it affected them, and that might inform our future decisions. For example, if First Street's going to, you know, ever become an entertainment district, and we have the ability to have an event like this on First Street, you know, we would have some data, you know, whether businesses liked it or didn't like it for this summer. So that seems like a potentially useful thing to do. But I think going back to the question of like, why would we move it to different areas? And if we have a reason to do it, you know, then talk with town about getting permissions and stuff. It sounds like the performance space is out, but it is just dirt by the water. And I don't know, another place besides First Street that would be sort of a long-term possibility. I guess that's my idea.
Thanks, Steve. I guess I want to kind of speak, Tanya, you know, as far as nothing happening with their performance space, I think we have a plan from JVA, and we've got names of landscape architects where I felt that it was left was really for us to, if we want to, contact landscape architects, present to them the plan, and ask for requests for proposals for to kind of bring a landscape consultant into the civil engineering. Now, I don't really know what the best way is to build consensus on the performance space being at Barker Meadows, and what the proper budget is for the landscape architect, and to finalize a set of documents. But I think we actually have a lot of information, and it wouldn't take anything but some phone calls and emails to really bring things to, you know, a point where we could say, okay, for this much, we could hire, you know, Acme Landscape Design, and they would help work with JVA and come up with that shovel-ready, you know, design and dollar amount or opinion of probable cost. So I believe that we actually can do things. I don't necessarily believe we have to spend money yet. We have, I think there's a step that we as board members and relationship with town can take. And I think also it would be, you know, talking through how does that interface with town staff and potential bathrooms and parking and driveways. So I think this it does get back to the comprehensive plan, and I don't, you know, I agree when there's not something budgeted, it feels like it's dead in the water, but I would, you know, disagree and say there's actually movement that can happen there.
Yeah, I just want to hop in really quick, Andrew. You're exactly right that this was the the next steps with the performance space were going to come out of the comprehensive plan and the update to the sub-area plan and the work plan. And part of that conversation was not putting the cart before the horse, but knowing that we could add through the words supplemental funding to do things if it rose up that needed to be dealt with. So just that update on that, Ty.
The way I remember the meeting was there was a lot of people saying they wanted ProSab and parks to take a more active role, that they felt like we were doing this without actual town desire. And that's why it didn't get budgeted. But I'm more than happy to take that list and send out some emails to those landscape architects with the plan that JVA created and get that going if you guys want. But the last I heard was at that meeting was that the majority of this board did not want us to keep working on it. But if that's the case, then we would have to get a supplemental budget once we got the bid. But I guess that's not that hard, just a couple months delay.
Yeah.
So let me know if you want me to do anything.
If you down to have a kind of performance space committee meeting again, Tanya, you and I could have coffee and like compare notes and get this list together and, you know, go.
I mean, I wanted to keep going with it, but
Okay.
that last budget meeting, it got kind of nixed because it was like, well, town doesn't seem to have any interest and ProSab doesn't want to do it. And anyway, I don't want to rehash it, but yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
Email you.
Can I
Sounds,
suggest that this, after you guys have your meeting, it come onto the agenda for discussion, and we go through some of the questions that we've been
Yeah.
talking about for well over a year now.
Yeah.
Just did it go on the agenda as a discussion item?
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
yeah, absolutely. Is there any other comments on the
Locations, right?
the discussion? Yeah, I think, I mean, I guess, I don't think there's really going to be any action on this action item, so
Can I ask a question?
discussion, oh, I thought it was, okay.
So do we have a process, if we wanted to do something like this on, it was brought up that it could be done on private land, so something would have to be done with a private landowner. Do we have a process or any type of a template to follow for something like that?
I don't know the answer to that, Scott. I know that when we, talked with private landowners, one of the big issues was does town insurance or DDA's insurance cover that private landowner? I thought we were able to address that question at a previous, last fall. But also it's just, there wasn't really more momentum than that, but I don't know of a formal process to how that would go down.
Thank you.
I think from town side, if I could just add, probably just be a special events, probably some kind of noise variance, and then essentially, yeah, having the insurance identify some language that would allow for that. I've been doing a lot with insurances for like sidewalk permits, and it's just adding additional language to cover some of these like areas. So yeah, that helps.
Thanks, Britt. Okay, any other comments on no location? Okay. Well, our next agenda item, sorry, I got to toggle through a bunch of screens here. Is this the downtown sub-area plan and work plan review? Okay.
Yes, and I'm gonna share my screen here.
So Kate took the initiative and highlighted the pertinent, overlap of DDA with the downtown sub-area plan. I think just for, my own thoughts and paradigm on this is really that as this plan is finalized and approved, this will really be the thing that will should inform our budgeting and alignment on, you know, the things that we're creating a budget for, in my opinion, should be directly found in this plan in some form or another. So, granted, this is just a draft now, but you know, as it's finalized, I think, given that there's been how the DDA comes up with its budget, and the BOT has expressed, you know, wanting certain things to be more detailed, but knowing that if we as a board are aligned on the things that we're budgeting are, you know, somewhere within this plan, and that we're in alignment with the BOT, that will be, you know, of everyone's benefit to move things forward and not have a lot of unnecessary discussion about, not to say that discussion's not necessary, but I don't know if anyone else has any thoughts on this, the downtown sub-area plan.
I would like to believe that there's still leeway for us to discuss items in our budget in future years that have to do with business services that have nothing to do with downtown development.
Mm-hmm.
But do help the local businesses in one way or another.
Yeah.
Aside from infrastructure.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. But one thing that was recently brought up, and, you know, not to go too off track, is that things as simple as bringing a third-party consultant, business management consultant, or maybe an accounting consultant up to the local businesses, and allowing the local businesses to each schedule, you know, whether it's 2 hours or a half day with that consultant to do a deep dive into certain things to just help, you know, if that could be of use to the businesses. That's something that's been talked about. So, yeah.
So thank you, Andrew. And I'm sorry, everyone, I can't be there tonight. And if I talk too much, I lose my voice. So I just really wanted you all to go through the highlighted portions and look at the 18-month action plan, because as Andrew said, like, this is where we're all going to work together and, you know, be able to streamline the process of getting things done for this community, really is. And so that's where I want you to look at about the performance rate. So I'm really glad that Tanya set the stage for that really well with our conversation before, because that does rise up as something we need to start prioritizing. And now we've spent $110,000 on concerts, but we haven't gotten to our performance space. So that really is one of the big questions I want this board, because Tanya is also right that there was a lot of talk around, you know, is this the right investment? And, you know, now we have the plans and we've gone through the process and people are saying that is a good investment. And so we're going to be talking about this more, but I just wanted everyone to know that this is going through the process right now. This is the final draft, and this is what everyone is talking about. And this is how we're all hopefully going to move forward, working together better. And I would love to talk individually with anybody that wants to go through this. And this is not the last time we're going to talk about it, but I just wanted really to get it on everybody's radar and make it digestible. So if there's any other ways that I can bring it to you, you know, please reach out and let me know.
Thanks, Kate. Steve?
Yeah, this is Steve Carro. I wanted to say too, but reading through this and, you know, especially paying attention to the highlighted areas that mentioned the DDA, it seems like there's a lot of leeway in, you know, in these points that come up in the sub-area plan, and as far as business services is mentioned, and that's in our, you know, in our bylaws, and it's a very broad category. So I didn't notice anything that, you know, I felt like is on our radar in a big way that didn't fit into one of these categories mentioned in this plan. But I thought it might be helpful if people kind of read it with that in mind, like, is there something missing that we've been talking about in the last year or two that doesn't seem like it's mentioned here? If this is, you know, supposed to be our blueprint for future planning and projects.
Absolutely.
I think there are some pretty wide categories.
And I do want different committee members, like especially public art, to read through here because it does reference, embracing the public art master plan, and it also guides some of that work for right now, with the need for plaques and things like this. And so I think that that's something that, individually I'd like to meet with different committees on to talk about the way that we can implement, because a lot of what the DDA is supposed to be doing, as it says with the 18 months, is the wayfinding. So we're off and going. It's just here's the other ways that we can leverage it in, and just due to the timing of where this comes in and gets finalized, there is still time for committees, since none of the budgets have really all the way gone through yet, for resolutions, that you can tweak things and we can make sure that they are aligned, or if there's something missing, like Steve said, we can work on that.
Right. Tanya, is your hand still up from before? Or?
Yes, it is still up from before, but I guess I could comment. I read it, I like it, and I've been trying to get Billy and John to get together with me to bring this up to the BOT so we can get some actionable items from it into our code. So, I mean, especially the overlay district. I forgot what it's called all of a sudden. In that chapter. Yeah, I think it's a pretty good document.
Okay. Danielle.
I'm wondering if this will be available to the public in a way that shares with them what our goals are and what the process will be and their direction, without misinterpreting it as an open forum for comment and telling us that they don't like it. So a way to share the information, to be transparent and open for what we're doing and what we're excited about. I mean, this is such a beautiful document with such great information that I need to keep revisiting because I get so excited about the potential of what our town is going to be turning into. And I don't want, and this might not be possible, but to get this to a point where we're in agreement that this is what the board's doing, this is what we're working with, and then having a stopping point so that we're not dragged down by opinions that are telling us to go back to stage 2 of 10 and revisit something that we have been following all along. If that makes sense on trying to be transparent but avoid unnecessary argument.
Yeah. Great. I'd like to figure that out too. I don't know how just yet, but I think that's a great point, Danielle.
I know that if Britt's there, I know that they put this on Engage Nederland and done lots of outreach, and I don't know if Britt wants to say anything.
Yeah, there has been lots of outreach. Originally, the plan was to try to adopt this with the comprehensive plan. I think it's going to get adopted after now. The public hearing for the comprehensive plan will be on February 26th. But I can speak from planning commission and kind of other outreach we've done with this, like being at the public events. There has been pretty good feedback on this for the most part. So I think you'll find it might be more positive feedback than we see sometimes here. So yeah, there's been a lot. It's, it's not fully adopted yet, but yeah, we're continuing to put it on our websites and really educate about it. I have people call me and email me questions about it to really understand it, because somebody does approach it sometimes a little bit negatively, and then you just kind of have to explain possibilities, kind of we're just getting plans here. So, but for the most part, I've heard a lot of positive feedbacks from the board as well. So yeah, a lot of engagement on this one.
Thanks, Britt. Is there any other just points of discussion on plan?
Katie, this is Scott. You had sent this out a couple weeks ago and asked for feedback, and I remember sending some notes to you. Are you gonna that's gonna go back to the board or the planning commission, or what's the plan with that information?
So I sent your comments to Britt, and so they are going, like Britt just said, it is in, when does it go to planning board again, did you say, Britt?
Yep, so we have a work session, which if anyone wants to come, feel free. It's already noticed on our page, but I'll be creating an agenda package soon. We got a lot of board feedback, and so, SC Group is redrafting, so we'll have another draft out at the end of this week, which I'll be putting on Civic Web. Happy to share with you guys. And then we'll do a work session on the 19th. Wednesday night, it's gonna be virtual, so happy to send that to anyone who wants to join as well.
That's next week?
Yep, and then the public hearing for the actual adoption will be the 26th, because we really want to make sure it's nailed down. So if you guys have any more comments too, especially after, if you get, it's a long draft, but if you get time to view it or had any just like, high level comments, feel free to email me.
Before what date? Sorry.
Workshops the 19th at 7 p.m. virtually, and the public hearing is the 26th of February.
Okay, so soon.
Yes. So the hope is we've incorporated a lot of the board of trustees feedback and some feedback we've received via email. And then the workshop, we're really, the board's been invited, it's being held by the planning commission. Anyone can come, but we're really hoping to get that final feedback so we can make any edits that need to be edited. And if something were to be completely off, we can extend the hearing to the next PC meeting as well. So there could be an extension if, there was some pretty detrimental comments or anything like that. So we're just getting tight on the budget left for the comprehensive.
Right. And you said the 19th was the planning commission work session?
Yeah, I'll send out an invite to you guys' board email.
Okay.
Virtual only, is that?
Yeah, virtual only. We have some members that are out, so I think that'll be an easier format for people.
Any other comments on this?
Thank you, Britt.
Yeah, thanks, Britt.
Yeah, no problem.
Thanks for fixing our computer too.
I'm trying.
So I think the next one, are we on to, sorry, I gotta scroll. Yeah, are we, Kate, can you?
Action items and vice chair. I can bring it up here.
Okay. I know we're missing a lot of members tonight, so I might make a motion to push the vice chair thing till the next meeting.
Okay.
Or we can talk about it.
Yeah, I second that. I'd like to get the new board member on board as well.
I just, feel like it would be good to have,
And
we're missing at least 3 people tonight, so.
And you will have a new board member by April, because we'll get the applications, you'll review them and get to interview at the March meeting. And then it will go to the BOT in March, and then the new person will be available for our April meeting.
Okay.
And I will call roll if you're ready.
Sure.
All right, so that motion to move to next, do you want to move it to April or to March, Andrew?
Do you have thoughts?
Do we think that a new board member would be vice chair material?
No, I don't think necessarily. I mean, I'm not.
So
Yeah.
it makes sense to kind of get that nailed down. before.
Next meeting, yeah, let's do it March, Kate.
Okay, great. So you'll amend that motion to
Okay, I
move.
Move the vice chair discussion to the March meeting.
Okay.
Okay.
And who seconded it in the room? I heard it.
Steve Carroll and Danny.
Thank you. All right. Danielle Kraus,
Yes.
Steve Carroll,
Yes.
Andrew Dewart,
Yes.
Scott Papich,
Yes.
Trustee Corvalon,
Yes.
Thank you all.
Great. And the next item is the wayfinding contractor selection. Steve, do you mind leading this up?
Sure.
Since, okay.
Yeah, so the agenda item is an action item, and we're trying to vote on which of the three companies to contract with. It's the Wayfinding Best and Final Offer, responses and recommendation. And there's a lot of history here in the name. And essentially, we went through with Kate and John Bazio from Merge, went through and had interviews with all of the three potential bidders and clarified some points and asked a lot of clarifying questions as well. And I believe those, the synopsis is here in one of the links. And then at that meeting, like a week later, Kate and Andrew and I went through the notes from that meeting with John at Merge and reviewed, the questions and answers and the synopsis. And I think, actually in the AIM here, it has sort of the synopsis from the three companies. E3 Signs was the original high bidder and ended up being the high bidder for the second time. And Geograph was another one that they're the one that we're recommending that the board go with for several reasons. They have the most experience on wayfinding projects of any of the three. The others all have done a lot of signs and some internal signs for large companies and things, but Geograph had the most wayfinding experience. We felt it was also good that Merge had worked with Geograph before, and they had a very smooth time working together, and Merge said they were a good company to work with. That counted for something. Also, Geograph and Arapahoe Signs were using the right kind of vinyl, and the E3 wasn't using it, so that was another issue. And then as far as being local, that's been a push for us as a board on a lot of fronts. And none of these three have local per se, as in Nederland or peak-to-peak region contractors that they work with. So we felt like the local aspect of this didn't apply to any of the three. Two of the companies are in Colorado. One of them is based in Denver, I think, and one's in Fort Collins. They didn't see any benefit to that, considering that being local companies. Geograph is an Ohio-based company, but once again, we didn't think any of the local factors played in here. And let's see, for Arapahoe Signs, one of the things that we thought was a little bit in their favor was that they use JVA as an engineer, and they use a different location of the JVA group. So it's not like the same Boulder group that we work with, but it is their parent company. So we thought there was a little bit of benefit to that, just with JVA, the main company, knowing that. But
Which one is Fort Collins?
That one, Kate, or Andrew, do you remember?
Are you talking about JVA, the JVA location in Fort Collins?
Yeah. No, I think it was. So I think it was Geograph was, if I remember right, was the Fort Collins.
I thought they were Ohio.
No, Geograph's Ohio. Yeah,
Ohio,
Arapahoe's
yeah.
Denver.
Oh, Denver. E3 is.
Where is E3?
Loveland.
Loveland. That's
Loveland.
not Fort Collins. Yeah.
So really, it came down to, for Geograph, I think what we liked was that they're quite a large company. They have the best price. They're doing the right kind of signage. They worked with Merge and it went smoothly. They also have the most experience with wayfinding projects. They said that they're really know their numbers, and they're not the kind of company that's gonna come back with, change orders as they get into things. I think, Andrew, was there anything else you can think of, like, as far as the salient points?
No,
I think Steve, yeah, I think you talked about them all.
So we felt
thanks so
pretty-
much, Steve.
What was that?
Kate was just saying thank you.
Oh, sure. Yeah, so essentially, we felt pretty comfortable picking Geograph. That was also Merck suggested that that would be their choice if it was their project. And I think it should work out well. So that was our recommendation, was to go with Geograph Industries and to engage them in contract for the production and installation of the wayfinding signs. So, yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah. Thanks, Steve. Is there any questions online? Tanya, sorry, I'm having to toggle around.
No,
No. Dan, any questions in the room?
Thank you, Steve. Again, having a committee go through this is phenomenal. I really feel good about Merge's chiming that that's who they would work with if it was their project. Looking at how the UV and the vinyl makes a lot of sense, having had stuff done. That's a huge deal. To have it just melt and disintegrate within 2 years is very frustrating. And again, I feel like we'll get some negative feedback that they're not local, but to have a quick answer sheet for people who push back on that, just to be ready to say, this is the competitive price, these are the reasons why we feel this is best for the project moving forward with what we've invested in it and the research that has been done. Just to feel confident and quick answers. Again, part of me just is feeling bogged down on some of the local feedback we get with some people who attend meetings, so that moving forward, just having a quick answer sheet so that we can have that confidence. I guess in particular for me, going to some of the vitality meetings, I would like to be able to have that with me to kind of back our director in answering and speaking for the DA and being more present with our projects. That would be really helpful.
That's a good point, and we did talk about that in our meeting with Kate and Andrew and me. And we did have a series of questions that we were comparing among the three companies. So that would be pretty easy to put together, just kind of like where did our choice come from, and the pros and cons of really it was two of the three, because the third one was kind of out of the running because they were using not the right materials for the signs, and they were a lot higher for the reasons. So yeah, we can put something like that together, and I think that's a good one.
Yep.
Thanks, Danielle. Scott, anything you want to add? No.
No, Steve, you've got a lot invested. You had a lot of time invested on this project over the last couple of years.
Yeah.
And we will have a lot invested in the project too. And I know you're aware of that. So if you recommend that we go that route, I trust you. Because I appreciate the work you put in on it.
Thank you. Yeah, I think it was a pretty quick decision and pretty easy. We'll lay that out what the pros and cons were of each one. But yeah, got it. Thank you.
We're looking for a motion tonight? Or
Yes,
anybody else wanna chime in?
I think that was, I went around, I think that was everyone. We are looking for a motion.
Do we need public comment?
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, is there public
Is there
comment?
any public comment?
Sorry. No public comment, no public in the room. I move to approve moving forward with Geograph Industries and entering into an agreement with them for the construction of the signs.
All
Can you
right.
call-
Yep. Danielle Kraus,
Yes.
Steve Carell,
Yes.
Andrew Dewart,
Yes.
Scott Papich,
Yes.
Trustee Corvalon.
I'm gonna abstain.
Thank you all.
Thanks, everyone. All right. That was a milestone there.
Yes,
Um,
congrats, everybody.
Thank you, Steve. Yeah.
This is exciting.
Yeah. I think that's the end of the action and
Yep.
informational items. The chair report, I know, we're going to be trying to work on looking at having I believe, a work session or potentially a work session with the VOT. Potentially, there's a couple of dates in March. This is either the evening of Tuesday, the 11th. I'm not sure. And I don't think this is finalized, but just putting it out there that there's hopefully sometime in March. I don't exactly know the dates yet for a joint work session with the BOT. And as far as really knowing that, I think having gotten some objections from them about the way we do our budget and getting more details and clarity over voting rights for liaisons, et cetera. Just there have been some housekeeping items that we need to address in an upcoming work session with the BOT. So I don't exactly know when that's going to be yet, but I think that's something that's going to be on our radar soon, especially as this sub-area plan happens. I also, on the March meeting agenda, I'd like to have some time where we could talk with Kate about the support for be it if it's additional hours and or additional staff help, where we can really have time to talk that through as a board with her about how we can all be on the same page and work well as an organization. So I think those are kind of high level things that I think we as a board need to do. Kate, does that sound like something we could fit on March agenda?
Absolutely. So you were thinking about doing an executive session before or using the first hour to do that? We can work on that, but yes, we can.
Yeah,
that
would be
like
helpful.
next step.
Okay.
Okay.
A lot of talk about additional job postings, and I think it would be really helpful for the board to have opportunity for an executive session and either with you involved or after that to talk this through. So
yeah, I agree. That was what I was going to say. So I'll consent and I'll come to you'll invite me to the first part. This is the way that Miranda has phrased it previously, and I'll come to the first part and then I will leave, and then you can have some time to discuss personnel matters there amongst yourselves. So you and I can talk about how to make that work, but we can definitely do that for the March meeting.
Great. That'd be excellent.
The regular March meeting.
Regular March meeting. Yeah.
And the joint meeting with BOT, do we have any days of the week we want to try to target?
I believe was penciled in on my calendar, and I don't think this is confirmed yet, but that Tuesday just before it, Tuesday the 11th, a potential work session from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. If you guys are willing to pencil that in your, like a tentative hold that time.
I'll send something out.
Yeah, and then there was, I think, for some reason, I know there's something else on Thursday the 20th. I don't know what it is, Britt, but for some reason that Thursday the 20th, I think there was another potential work session, but I feel like the, that's open. Yeah, I feel like the 11th was something that we were kind of trying to pull together. Yeah.
The 11th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I appreciate all your effort in the wayfinding, Steve, and I know that Steve Roundtree hopefully will be back in action soon, and Nathan is not able to make it tonight, as we know, but he hopes to be back soon. And Everett, again, hopefully will be at the next meeting, barring weather. So that's all from the chair report tonight. And the treasurer report, I guess Steve's not here. I don't know if there's anything that you want to add on his behalf, Kate, or to start with the ED report. Okay.
No, it's all in there. And I've just taken right now, since we're at the beginning of the year, I put your final budget in there so that you can have it in access to it in your packet of what we had allocated for right now. And then I don't have anything to add to my executive director report. And I do not have a town staff report. I know John had a conflict this evening, but we had been working with him to coordinate for the meeting, especially around the locations and getting his input on contracting next steps for wayfinding, et cetera.
Great. Okay. Thank you, Kate. Is there any other business?
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
From the wayfinding, as we move forward with Geograph Industries, and the bid was right around 280,000 in that neighborhood, is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. In the budget, we have a max in the budget of 400,000. We don't have an expectation to spend all that. Is that correct?
Right.
We're talking about the
No.
places. Go ahead, Kate.
So, yeah, no, we're not. Yeah, the 400 was just a budget estimate. I'm pulling up what I calculated what we were at. Of course, it's not on this. Hold on one second.
Well,
go ahead.
Do we have an expectation on what could possibly happen on change orders?
There was a discussion, and I think, Steve, I didn't have this, but if you want to speak about, potential for change orders that was discussed with the contractors.
Right, so from my understanding, that was in a meeting that I didn't attend, but John Bosio and Kate perhaps were in that one, when they interviewed each of the three contenders. Two of the three, Geograph and the other one that was in contention, both said that they didn't plan to do any change orders. They believe their numbers, everything seemed fine. I think if there was something, really materially different that shows up when they're in the work, then a change order would be reasonable. Okay, I don't think anybody talked about like dollar amounts or anything like that. Okay, so just for this group's own edification, as we have these conversations with people out in public, or we have more economic vitality meetings or whatever, and this issue comes up, even though we have 400,000 in our annual budget for this item, we don't expect that it's going to go materially over 280,000 in any way, correct?
Yeah, correct.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that we're all.
Yeah, there was an option, I think, an add option to do steel posts instead of the wood posts, which I believe was already factored in. Yeah.
Yeah.
$2,000 or something, or $6,000.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
And that was the amount I included, was accepting that with the steel post. So the total amount for this project, including construction services, is $297,467.
Okay.
So so you could say that we are trying to stay within the 300,000. But one of the feedback that we did receive in meetings and Merge confirmed is that Geograph doesn't do change orders. Most of them, they said they know their business, but Merge had an example of a time when something came up, but they said, hey, that was on us, and they ate the cost. And so that was definitely a positive point, but Steve said, Arapahoe side said the same thing. We know our business. We don't anticipate anything that they thought that they had good information to go on. And we talked to them several times, through this process. And I do think it was really very valuable to do this last round of interviews with all three of them. And the fact that they all three came back with their best and finals shows that they really want to work with us. So I think this was a really good process.
Kate, this is Tanya. How much did we spend on merge leading up to this to get the shovel-ready project ready?
I can pull it from. I have to pull it from QuickBooks.
Okay.
Let me just do that real quick. Because this has been going on for a couple of years, so let me just try to get it as fast.
Do we know what the signs are going to say? Like, has that already been predetermined by merge?
Yes. So those are the sign the sign messaging document has those in there, and I can pull up that as soon as I get out of QuickBooks here.
It's in the agenda, actually, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, QuickBooks is just taking a little bit because I got my computer doing a lot of things right now.
Since we'll wait on QuickBooks to come up, Steve, this isn't going to entail any signage or anything outside of like the downtown area, correct? Are we going to be doing things out by Mud Lake and Hesse Trailhead?
No, we're not doing anything out there.
Okay, I was confused because I saw some of that signage in the document.
Yeah, that's from the initial, we had 3 phases of signage we were going to do originally. And we decided pretty early on that 2 of the 3 phases, may never happen or for the foreseeable future aren't happening.
Okay,
Yeah.
sounds good. Thank you.
Thanks.
We're waiting for merge costs.
We're waiting for merge. I want to say
I'm sorry.
180,000, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, it's still thinking. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I just have so many things running. Okay, because it's QuickBooks Online. All right, here we go. Let me get
a different number.
So you want all told through this?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd love
Okay,
to.
I just want. Yep, I just
project.
want to confirm.
Yeah, and Kate, there were, we had 3 different contracts with merge since this started years ago, I think.
That's what. So that's what I have to do. I have to chase the different resolutions. So just hold on here. Okay, here we're just gonna do it this way. So wayfinding, we have only spent, well, as of 2020, 2020, that is right, is $40,312.95.
That's all
at this
been
point.
merged?
Yes, and my staff time, but that is how much has been booked to wayfinding thus far.
40,000.
Yes.
Can we do maybe a quick report for the vendor merge?
Yep, that's what I'm. Oh, you want to do that? Okay.
I mean,
Yep, I can do that.
40,000 on merge.
I can't understand what you're saying, Kanye. You're saying we spent 40,000.
We've only spent 40,000. Merge charged us 40,000 for their work. That's it?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
And I can I can send these out to the group. I'll send out what Andrew said, the report for Found Design. That's what they do business at, or what they do business as. And so I'll send that out as well as the wayfinding summary report. to the group so that you can all see where we are.
Great.
Okay, maybe Steve can clarify, because I thought we had budgeted with merge more than 40,000, but they came in under their bid.
It's,
There were 3 different contracts.
yeah, multiple different contracts.
So if I'm wrong, I'll find it and it'll be in there. But this is all I'm pulling for the resolution that held all the money that we've been spending. So the amount that you authorized in 2020 is what we've been spending. And I agree, I think it was a much larger number, but yes, this is where we've come in at.
Huh. Okay. Steve, did you write the checks or did the NDDA write them?
The
The DDA?
NDDA wrote the checks. Yeah.
Okay, so only 40,000 got spent on merge. Okay, that's interesting. Thank you. Great.
Okay, and like I said, I'll pop this out of QuickBooks and send this to everybody with the wrap up from the meeting so that you can see where all the finances are with wayfinding and that. That's no problem.
Great. Okay, thanks, Kate.
Mm-hmm.
Any other business? I'd entertain a
Yep.
motion to
Given the
adjourn. Oh,
conversation we just had with Peter
right,
Fiore,
yes.
should we discuss some of these dates before we break? Because if we wait a month on these dates, that's not going to help him or us at all.
Well, I mean, to me, it doesn't matter to me. I think it really, I asked, is there any conflict with, Jazz and Wine? No, that's a different date. We talked through the Ned Gravel thing. This is more to me if town staff would have,
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't matter to me personally, but I don't know.
Are we
Yeah.
talking dates about the
Date. June,
that-
yeah.
the farmers market really doesn't want it the Saturday before their market. Last year there was about 4 or 5 of them that way, or 3 of them, because it is a lot getting people to come in town twice sometimes in a weekend.
Do you know what those dates are that we just read off?
I didn't hear it. Your mic was off at the
Yeah,
time.
we couldn't hear them.
All right,
Yeah,
so
so
it's
you can just
June.
email it to me so I can counter look at it with the farmers market schedule and send you feedback.
Yeah.
That would be great.
Starting at 4 p.m. on Saturdays, with one exception, which is a Friday.
Okay, yeah, I didn't hear a thing, so unless you wanted to tell me now and I can write them down or just
Here.
email it to the
Yeah.
group.
I can tell you right now. It was
Okay, let me get a pencil. What do you want?
ready. Primary suggestions: June 7th,
Uh-huh,
June 21st.
uh-huh.
There's a kids fishing clinic, which may or may not be a factor. July 4th.
That's a Friday, the July 4th.
Yeah. That would be the one potentially in town if we were going to close down, if town wanted street closed down. August 2nd, August 16th, August 30th. Those are the primary suggestions. Then these are the alternate backup dates. June 28th, if no July 4th. July 26th. Chipeta not available. July 12th, after Ned Gravel. August 9th, but maybe there's the Cat Bazaar, question mark. Yes.
And nothing in September?
No, well, September could be an option. That's what he's wanting to know.
Okay, so should we just email him feedback or is this?
Well, I think he just really wants the DDA itself to come together and say, this is when we want it to happen.
Are we doing that now or, I mean,
That's
let
what
me
we're,
let me look up the farmer's market schedule.
yeah.
Would have been nice if this would have been,
Danielle's looking at the farmer's market right now.
huh?
Danielle's about to say the farmer's market.
Oh, awesome, great.
So the conflicting ones, there's a July 6th farmer's market.
July
August
6th though.
That'd be after July 4th. Okay.
August 3rd market, August 17th market,
Wait, I'm sorry, Danielle, can you speak up?
She said August 3rd, August 17th, and August 31st. So all the
That's terrible.
the August Saturdays would be right before the farmer's market.
It's so funny.
Then the backup dates, I mean, would be August 9th. And then maybe you do some maybe we do one in September.
That would be awesome.
Labor Day, is that Labor Day or?
Labor Day is like the 30th, I guess.
I don't know what.
Let me look that up.
Farmers markets are the 7th and 21st.
That's,
I mean, let's see. Especially the,
Well, there's always going to be a conflict with the farmer's market.
there's always going to be. So
why is
the
there only
reason why-
one in July?
There's, well,
Three in August.
there could be more in July.
Well,
Yeah.
I think Peter Fiore spent time trying to not conflict with other local events that were already on the calendar. And the reason he needs us to nail down dates is so that he can nail down talent.
Okay, well, I think personally, there's too many in August. And I think the Labor Day one is maybe a little much because a lot of people aren't even in town on Labor Day. Locals, I mean, I don't know, you guys can do what you want, but it's funny because Kip from the farmer's market said he had been talking with Peter about not having them overlap. And that's funny because they did. But
I mean, it's the day before. To me, an
Yeah,
overlap is like at the same time.
it's a lot, like it's just not ideal to have everything in one weekend like that. But
Is there a date or secondary that Peter offered for those August dates?
I think the 12th could be good.
Yeah, well, August 9th was a potential backup, July 12th.
Look at the calendar.
We can compromise.
I think September would be nice. I know he thinks
I
it's
think-
going to be cold, but I think September is usually pretty nice. But what do I know?
I agree. I mean, why not one on Labor Day weekend?
That is the 30th of August. He has one. August 30th is Labor Day weekend.
Oh, it is.
Mhm.
Okay.
A lot of people like to travel on a 3-day weekend. Yeah, that's true. When I look at what happened last year, we got, I'd say 95% of the people there were local,
Mhm.
and it really,
NedFest was always on in August. I'm just thinking about our classic music times. So which were the August date, which Danielle, what were so the 2nd, the 6th, all the August dates conflict?
Yeah,
Wh-
they don't conflict, but they're on the same
Weekend, yeah, they're on the same weekend.
as farmers market.
What if we did
July
August,
26th, that could be a good one.
July 26th and August 9th?
yeah. that sounds good.
So why can't we have Chipeta on the 26th of July?
Oh, right. That was what you had said.
What
Yeah.
is that? Does anybody-
Someone
Just
rented
says
it,
it's
maybe?
not available. I don't know why Chipeta is not available.
Maybe someone rented it.
You guys that answer by tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I wonder if we could maybe circulate I guess do we need to do this and what's the way we can figure this out? Not right this second, but maybe tomorrow. Is that realistic or should we just figure it out right now?
Let's figure out what we can right now, if we can.
So it sounds like June 7th, June 21st, July 4th, we're all in agreement on.
Yeah.
Okay, August 30th, we're in agreement on. Labor Day
mean,
week.
Yeah, I'm not. I think that's a bad time because people are out of town, but
Okay, well then,
Could I ask-
whatever. Also that people come in to visit, like tourists would be in town, but I would push for another one in July.
Yeah,
because
Yeah.
only one in July, and I would push for one in September. That's what I would say, but whatever. He likes to keep
August
September free for rain.
2nd
day.
for July 26th. So what if we got rid of August 2nd? When is Rocky Grass? Not that that matters, but
I think that's usually rocky. You're right. That's usually rocky.
July
grass.
26th is Rocky Grass.
Usually,
I mean,
yeah.
They,
So the 12th, maybe? What was, that was maybe with the Ned Gravel. They like to, they usually have a band right after in the afternoon.
How late
So-
does that band usually play? Because they're usually done riding by 1 or 2, are they not?
Yeah, I would think by the time this started, it would be done. They could just run over to Chipeta. Bike over.
Well, don't they do, I mean, Ned Gravel kind of bases in Chipeta, doesn't it?
You know, last time they were in the performance space.
Hmm.
So, and they've been in Gercio too. Yeah, last time they were there. Oh, my computer. You there? About to die.
I think that day, the 12th of July,
Mhm.
even though Ned Gravel's going that day,
Mhm.
if Peter feels confident that he can logistically do everything,
Mhm.
that might be really good.
Okay.
It'd be a big weekend.
So July 12th, and then
Yeah, get rid of
Um,
one of the August ones.
get rid of one of the, which August, the 2nd,
I don't care.
16th, or the 30th. Maybe the 2nd.
Sure.
The middle one, that way it gives them a break of farmers markets having something done the day before. In between.
Okay.
I would almost be in favor of getting rid of the Labor Day one instead.
Okay. So
I'm not gonna opinionate.
so we got 6, 7, 6, or July 4th, 7, 4, 7,
12.
7, 12, August 2nd, August 16th. I think there's, yeah, well, I thought we were, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's it. No, we need one more. We got rid of, oh, June 21st is, I missed that one. So it's 6, 7, 6, 21, July 4th, 7, 12, 8, 2, and 8, 16.
So there's a June 22nd market.
Well,
Yeah, I mean, that's fine.
yeah, I don't think we're gonna be able to dodge all the markets.
No, I know. But at least
Yeah.
we got one.
Tanya, one of the things that Peter informed us of, I don't know if you heard this because you were remote.
Yeah, I couldn't hear it all.
Okay, you could or could not.
Not, I could
Okay.
not.
He said that until about 9 a.m., day of show, we have flexibility to call things off if weather looks really, really bad. So if on one of these dates, it's looking horrible, and we know it the day before, we know it early in the morning and we could do something. then
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, if you know it's gonna pour. I mean, the one rain day we had that had 10% chance of rain that day. That was
Right.
the irony of it, but.
Yeah.
um,
Okay, so just for the record here, we got June 7th, June 21st, July 4th, July 12th, August 2nd, and August 16th. Okay,
Yeah.
all right. Well, then
All right.
I'm gonna let
Let
Peter
me ask you guys a question about July 4th. Does anybody want me to make any phone calls to firework purveyors about being able to do something on that day? That I would bring it up to you guys.
Is that our personal opinion?
Yeah. You want me to make some calls and bring it to the next meeting with any bids?
Personal
You don't have to, it's not non-committable, but
I love fireworks.
I do too. We're gonna have music, and then if we could have some sort of, I mean, the drones, I guess, are kind of cool.
Unfortunately, I'll be out of town.
So will I, but yeah, I will be as well. But I just think it would be cool to do it and I could make some phone calls. It might be too late actually to do it, but
I
you never
think
know.
that we're having music.
Yeah. I
What's
will
that?
say last 2 summers, we've had long and protracted fire ban periods, and I think it's a terrible idea to have fireworks during a fire ban.
Well, no, you can't have it during a fire ban. Usually, you reschedule it for the winter. Or one time we did him, this was like 10 years ago, and we ended up doing it end of July on Miners Day instead. Usually there's a contingency that you have for fire bans with the company. Yeah, no, you can't do it if there's a fire ban.
Okay.
Do you know some drone providers, Tanya, that you could reach out to?
I mean, I could make some calls. I don't know anybody, but I could get on Google and start calling people and see what
I
they
think
say.
Jonathan said he knew a drone.
Yeah, he did. And there's some different, and so I think that might be a good path to go down. I've heard from different people when we've had this conversation that everybody wants something, but what that is, whether it's fireworks or a drone show, is, pretty mixed bag. So we could look at getting some drone numbers and bringing that as part of the event budget.
Okay.
Okay.
Just to double check the June dates, were there any other June makeup dates? Or second?
I mean, the backup dates would be a June 28th, July 26th, August 9th.
Can we do the June 28th? Looking at, sorry to catch you
Sure.
beforehand, there's a June 8th market, June 22nd market. So if there's an option to.
Yeah, backup dates would be what do you want to propose as a backup date? June 28th?
As opposed to the 21st.
Then we would avoid another market.
And what was the other backup date? July 26th too, or?
That's during Rocky.
That's
Bluff,
right.
We can't get Chipeta.
Oh, and we can't get Chipeta. Okay, how about August 9th then? I mean, if we're gonna, I know that's also right before the farmer's market, but it's
Wait,
like
what are we doing?
we're just trying to give backup dates in case he can't, for booking reasons.
The 12th?
The backup dates that we're gonna a backup date in June of June 28th for the June shows. I think we need a backup date for July.
One of the good things about the way we just decided it is most of these dates are spaced out by a couple of weeks, which is kind of nice.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that if we spread them out, that's kind of better than packing them all into a tight
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree.
time period. And we only have 2 that are on consecutive weeks right now, and that's the 2 in July.
Yeah. But do we want any backup date beyond June 28th? August 9th or August 30th? No.
I like June 28th.
Well, I know, we've already got that as a backup date. Yep.
What about anything in September?
Yeah, or I'll just put or September question mark. Okay. Okay, perfect. Any other business? Motion to adjourn? Yeah, that's all right. Yeah. Entertain a motion to adjourn. All right. Great. Thanks, everyone. Yeah.
Thank you all.
Yep. See you guys.
Okay, guys, how is everybody? Okay. How was your lesson, Leo? With John?
Good lesson.
Yeah?
Yeah, what?
Just a question.
Good lesson, yeah.
Good.
Here you go, Mo.
Doing a remote like that.
I just have you were trying to.
Yeah, here, just give me a second. All
Yeah.
right.
Just
That's, I appreciate